Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I had a really strong calling to go on live. So we're doing our live meditation in, 2 hours. So this is not the meditation. But I had a huge urge to get on here live right now with all of you. So I want to just share what's coming through. This isn't the meditation. The meditation is in a couple of hours. But I got to get on. I got to share what's coming through. Okay. So we are going through a massive emotional purging right now. A lot of you may be suffering or struggling, feeling like it's worse than it's ever been, or how am I going to get through this? My guides have been showing me a lot of pain, emotional pain, or sadness, depression. So I'm speaking to those of you that are feeling it right now, deeply. And I want to share I want to remind you that you're not alone. And I want to remind you that this is part of the process of evolving. That you're evolving. You meaning your human experience, your human journey, your human body. And none of it is you. None of it is you. When we start stepping out of the illusion that we are emotions, the illusion that we are thoughts, the illusion that we are beliefs, the illusion that we are our behaviors, when we start to step out of that, it is a really uncomfortable growth spurt. Because we haven't been yet free. We haven't been sovereign. We haven't been released from the illusion that we are everything other than what we are right here, which is consciousness, which is light, which is love, which is choice, which is creator. And so when we start breaking out of that illusion, it can feel like you're alone. It can feel like you don't know what to do or how to be. It can feel overwhelming. When we are faced with new experiences, which is what we're faced with right now, of an entire human collective collapsing, meaning the consciousnesses that we are used to being in are collapsing. We are faced with the inevitability of becoming the creator that we have always been. It's almost like everything is going to be taken away from us in order to be able to recognize who we have always been. Which many people will say, screw that. Why? This makes no sense. This isn't fair. I don't like this. I don't want to go through this. It was a lot easier before I was awake. It was a lot easier before 2020. Yeah, but we were asleep. Yeah, but we were experiencing ourselves in a state of awareness that was not who we are. So when we start waking up into who we are, this illusionary state of comfort, ease, we have to let go of. It's almost like when you have to become an adult, right? So if you had the type of childhood where you were always taken care of and you had all of your needs met, you didn't need to make choice. You didn't really need to worry about anything. Everything was taken care of for you. And then all of a sudden you walk out into the real world as an adult, let's say. Your parents are like, go out there now. And you're like, holy cow, No one told me it was like this. No one told me I would have to speak my truth, that I would have to have boundaries, that I would have to say no, that I would have to feel all of this, that I would have to watch massive amounts of control being thrown on me. Because you were hidden and protected in this cocooning of a parent. When you are asleep, you are in a state of illusion where parents are taking control of you. Parents are taking care of you. Parents are telling you what to think and feel and be, and it's easy. The creator being that you have always been inside doesn't have to do much. Because you are disconnected from it. Because the external systems are telling you how to be, what to do. It's easy. Life seems great. And then you wake up. And then you step into higher states of consciousness. And then you start to realize, oh, I've got to put my big boy, big girl pants on now. I've got to be the multidimensional creator being that I came into physical body to be. I've got to incarnate now, completely embodied now, and take control. Become empowered. Courageously speak my truth. Start standing up for what I believe in. Start stepping out of systems that everyone in my life is still in. Feel like the lone sheep. Cry, break down, get angry, get rageful, emotions that you haven't necessarily felt when you were asleep and the external parents were taking care of you. You didn't have to worry about anything. It was the illusion that everything was fine. Everything was great. But when we step into what people have called New Earth or heaven on earth, I like to call it heaven on earth, when we step into that, which is already here right now, we step into our sovereignty right here, right now. Everything comes back here. We take self-responsibility for every experience, reality, emotion, thought, belief, and behavior. We no longer get to throw it on anyone. And then we have temper tantrums. I don't like this. This feels uncomfortable. And yet it is the most freeing, beautiful, magical, mystical gift that we are being given in this now moment. This is why you are here. Can you detach from your emotional states? And remember that feeling emotion is just part of experiencing the human journey. Feeling these thoughts are just part of the human journey. Feeling the behaviors are just part of the human journey. And what you and I are in this now moment is like a pressure cooker where we are learning how to step out of what we have been conditioned to be in while we still stand in what we have been conditioned to be in. We don't get to leave this. We don't get to walk out our door and see a completely different physical reality. We have to be it from the inside. We have to be the masters that we came here to be. You are a higher dimensional being or consciousness, soul, spirit, whatever you want. You are it right now. And you courageously raised your little light hand and said, I want to be down there on the earth plane in the most miraculous moment that earth is going to be going through. Yes, please. I want to be a part of it. And now that we found ourselves here, and now that we are actually recognizing what this means in physicality, in the third dimension, many of us are like, just kidding, I want out. This is crazy. This is too much. And many of us are like, heck yeah, like our hands are up, right? We're going down the roller coaster like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Many of us are in between. I want to remind you right now, please remember, please tap into your remembrance right now that every single thing that is happening in the external is designed and is divine and is exactly how we shift an entire human collective. There is nothing dangerous about it. There is nothing bad about this. You remember this. It's in your cells, it's in your DNA, it's in you. And we, as light in physical form, as energy, are and will continue to shift this entire human collective into heaven on earth. And the reason that my guides are guiding me to remind you once again is because many of you are in it right now. You're in it, you're feeling it. You're in the emotion. You're in the anxiety or the stress, the sadness, the depression, the oh my God. And many of you aren't, but many of you are. If you're in lockdown, if you can't leave your house, if you're being threatened with a vaccine that you don't want to take, if you are having to make choices that you don't want to make, this is why you're here. It's why you're here. This is why you're here. We are creating a new now. We are creating a new collective. We are being asked to break free, which means that you don't follow what we have followed for most of our lives. When you step into new states of consciousness, i.e., new ways of being, it's going to feel a little odd, uncomfortable, strange, different. We've never been in these states of consciousness we are stepping into. We've never been in them in this physical form. We've never said absolutely no to authority figures the way we're doing it now. We've never spoken truths the way we're speaking them now. We've never been censored the way we're being censored now. We've never seen such a unified divide as we are right now, because we are shifting. This is for the sole purpose of pulling an entire human collective into higher states, into a completely different dimensional field. And the more we can continue to remind ourselves that there's nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with what is occurring externally. You are not your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors, your beliefs. You are going to be asked to speak up more, to stand up more, to shine your light, to love more, to have more compassion and empathy. These are called higher states of consciousness. If we continue to allow ourselves to believe that we are this third dimensional field that we're in, this third dimensional matrix, these third dimensional consciousnesses, it's just going to take a little bit longer to move through it. I am not that which I see in the external. I am not that which I feel. I am not that which I think. I am not that which I believe. I am not that which I be. Behaviors. Everything I'm seeing in the external is the breaking down and lifting up of collective consciousness, of the human consciousness, the evolution, evolving. This is what it looks like to evolve, to physically evolve in the now moment. This isn't a theory. This isn't a book you're reading. This isn't an idea. And it's okay that hundreds of millions are not where you are. Stay focused on where you are. Stay focused on your now moment. The less you can beat yourself up, the easier this will be. Stop beating yourself up. Stop. If you're doing it, stop. You don't deserve it. You definitely don't deserve it. Do you know who you are? Do you remember who you are? There's nothing wrong with anything that's happening right now. Nothing. Your freedom is here. Your light is here. Your remembrance is here. Your knowingness is here. Your love and compassion and empathy is here. Your choice is here. Everything is here. And you also get to have all of the human emotions around it. Just try not to attach to them. The less you can attach to anything, the easier this human journey will be. Do not attach to your intentions. Do not attach to your manifestations. Do not attach to your desires or outcomes. Do not attach to what you love. Do not attach to what you want. Do not attach to your emotions. Do not attach to your beliefs. Do not attach to your truths. Do not attach to outcomes. Stop attaching to everything, and you'll find yourself in a much more graceful space as you navigate this intense and chaotic shift in consciousness. So ask yourself, am I attached? Am I attached? Am I attached? You can have all your desires. You can have all your wants. You can have all of your intention and manifestations. You can have all of that detached. It's called the quantum field. It's called the creator being that you are. The creator being knows that they don't have to attach to anything because it's already right here, right now. You're just in the time-space continuum, which means you have to wait for time. Wait for it to visually appear. If you understand the quantum field, you understand emotion, which is that it's just energy. The third dimension puts a name on it. The third dimension tells you if it's good or bad, right or wrong, if you're evolved or not evolved because you're feeling it. But from the quantum perspective, from the creator being that you are, you understand that every emotion is just energy being felt through the body, period. End of discussion, case closed. That's it. Oh, here comes what we like to call fear. Here comes what we like to call sadness. From a higher perspective in the quantum field, it is literally just an emotion. Just an energy. We call it an emotion. We label it. We attach to it. We judge it. Live from this quantum lens. You're not bypassing anything. By all means, you're doing the opposite. You're devouring the human experience. You're devouring the consciousness that comes in, which means you're like, oh my God, I am now feeling ... Feel it. Next. Instead of, oh my God, this means I am ... This means I'm doing this wrong or right. I'm a great human. I'm an enlightened human because I'm feeling all these states. I'm a sucky human. I suck because I'm... Stop. You're beyond all of it. You're just standing in a third dimensional field. That's it. Anyway, I was pulled to come in here and remind you of what you're doing, of who you are, that it is okay, everything you're feeling. There is no wrong way, bad way, good way, right way. And this is why you're here. This is why you dropped in. No mistakes. There is a divine design of what is unraveling. Every time I tap into my guides, every single day, they're like, great, keep going. This is exactly how it's going to go. Yep, keep going. Keep going. By the way, Lori, if you hold yourself in higher states of consciousness, you're going to be able to take that human collective into a little bit higher timeline. By the way, Lori, if you hold yourself in love and compassion and empathy, meaning let yourself feel whatever you feel, you'll be able to shift the collective's timelines. By the way, Lori, you may be asked to speak up more. By the way, Lori, you may be asked to be differently. That's all they say. They don't say, holy cow, the human collective is going to hell in a handbasket. You guys really screwed up. Quite the opposite. They're like, yep, keep going. This is exactly how you do it. Nothing wrong out there. Hey, by the way, can you remind the human about fear? That's how they speak. That's how they energetically, telepathically communicate to me. They don't say to me when I sit down and say, hey, what's the message today? They don't say, oh my God, warn the humans that this is really bad. They don't say that. They don't say to me, oh my God, please tell the human that they need to be aware of, they need to be careful of. They don't speak like that. They're like, you guys are rocking it. Everything's going perfect. Can you give them a little education around fear, right? Or can you remind them again about this or that? That's what it's like. Never is it, this is bad. We're doing it wrong. The humans got it wrong. It's going in the wrong direction. It is always a cheering on. Please keep going. Don't give up. Don't forget. This is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. There's no way around it. This is how you shift an entire human collective. We can't sidestep it, skirt around it, make it easier on us. This is it. Surrender to it. Stop trying to change it. This is it. So let's go out there and be these higher dimensional beings that we are in human form. Let's go out there and remind humanity of why we're here. What we are breaking out of and stepping into. There is nothing wrong with your voice. There is nothing wrong with your truths. There is nothing wrong with your beliefs. There is nothing wrong with your behaviors. There is nothing wrong with the fact that you may be the only one in your town, thinking, feeling, being, doing, speaking the way you are. Good for you. Even more of a courageous act. This is why you're here. And there are millions upon millions of us all over the earth right now doing the exact same thing. And we are all energetically connected. So you're never alone. I love you. Thank you so much for just moving through every now moment. Try to stay as present as you can. Just try to stay in the now moment as much as you can. Is this in a future? Is this in a past? Or is this in my now? Is this in my now? Ask yourself, is this in my now? Or is this in a future? Or is this in a past? Because the now is the most precious gift that we have. And it's the easiest way to get through this. I love you. You are so, 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 so deeply loved and honored. So honored to be in the physical body you're in and navigating the insanity of what you may be navigating right now. Thank you. I love you.